Jose El Rayo Valenzuela sets the record straight. He is no longer working with David Benavidez's pops and trainer, Jose Sr. I don't know what's going on, but let's get it. Jose El Rayo Valenzuela, let it be known. He says in a recent social media post, "Hey everyone, hope you're all doing good. Just want to clear up some things I've been hearing lately about my next fight. But I'm no longer in a managing or training relationship with Jose Benavidez Sr. or his team. It's time to move forward. Stay tuned for the announcement of my next fight. It's coming soon." Wow. So I don't really know what's going on there, but it doesn't sound great, if that makes sense. It sounds like something existed, something went on between the two, because just how he said it, right? Like, it's not nothing big that a fighter moves on from a trainer, but, you know, reading between the lines, just how he said it, it sounds like there was maybe some issues where he was like hearing his name tied to Jose Benavidez Sr. still, and he was like, nah, let me set the record straight and let people know what it is and what it ain't. I'm no longer working with them. I'm no longer being managed. I got my own situation now. Fight coming soon. The positive here is that he said fight coming soon. He's not fighting Tank next because Tank's fighting Lamont Roach. Got to get past that. So I believe Pitbull probably pushed for the rematch, and there was a rematch clause in the first fight. The first fight took place on Crawford-Madrimov undercard. So I believe the second fight will probably just be on regular PBC, you know, Amazon Prime or PBC affiliate, right? And I think it's a good rematch. Get that out the way. Tank's busy now because Rayo wasn't ready this year, and it looks like he's probably training with Robert Garcia, and we'll see what's next. I don't know exactly what happened. I haven't heard from Jose Benavidez, but doesn't sound like it was all the way amicable. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. But it is good to see Rayo set the record straight, because there's a lot of low quality boxing content that you can find online. Bad audio, bad visual quality, misinformation, disinformation, you know, just people rushing, doing quick content clips just to try to get some hits, but it's not really saying much. And then a lot of bad information and clickbait where people running around spreading falsehoods. And I don't know if people know that they're lies or they're not speaking the truth or what. You know, it's not really my business either, but I like it when it comes from the horse's mouth. You guys are hearing it from Jose El Rayo Valenzuela. He's telling you what it is, and that's always the best way for me. My mama always told me, go to the source. The roundup, round 2. Now, as I started editing this video, the first part talking about Rayo's message to Team Benavidez, I was tagged by Team Benavidez, who broke their silence, and they have responded. So for round 2 on the roundup, I want to talk about this post I was tagged in on my social media. Make sure you guys follow me there, where Jose Benavidez responds to this message seemingly out of nowhere from El Rayo. Jose Benavidez Sr. on his verified page says, "I am just as confused as everybody else regarding Jose El Rayo Valenzuela's recent post of us not working together. I have not received any communication from Jose Valenzuela requesting to part ways. I have no problem with him going a different route or choosing different people to work with. I took Rayo in before he turned pro and treated him like a son. Me and my sons always looked out for him and wanted the best for him. We worked our asses off together as a team to get where he's at today. Success didn't happen overnight. I knew deep down inside he would become a world champion even before he turned pro. So many times it seemed as if a title shot wasn't going to come, but I never gave up on him, and the belt speaks for itself. With all the sacrifices I had to do, not only on his end, but mine too, dealing with the behind the scenes BS, fighting for him to get the better fights, more money, bigger stages, etc. The list goes on. Jose Valenzuela could have at least been a man and talked to me first instead of sharing on Instagram, sharing a post on Instagram. I am disappointed with his level of professionalism, and hope he can communicate professionally. And then he tagged a bunch of media people. Wow. So the funny thing is, if you listen, I recorded the first portion of this video talking about El Rayo's message before I got this notification, before this post was created. And ironically, I said in that first portion, before even hearing Jose's side, I said, it doesn't seem like things were amicable. Just the way he put it out there, it was just seemed too random. And it seemed like something, occurred to the point where he felt the need, Jose Valenzuela felt the need to get on the horn and let people know that he wasn't messing with Jose Benavidez anymore, and he was no longer a part of the team. Like, it was too random. It was too random for me. So for me, I just felt that something had occurred, something had happened behind the scenes. And now with him saying this and tagging me in the post, it really appears that way, because he's saying he found out about it when we found out about it via a social media post. And he's saying, I made sacrifices for you. I treated you like a son. We've been on this long road together, and now you're a champion, and I have faith in you, knew you were going to be a champion. And he's saying, I'm just as confused as a lot of y'all are that he's not working with me, because he never once communicated that with me, according to Jose Benavidez. He's saying he went, he kind of snaked him and did it in a backdoor fashion. Now, listen, I don't know what's going on. They're going to have to figure this part out. I'm just kind of reporting the news, so I don't really have an ultimate stance. It is what it is, I guess you could say. El Rayo is a champion now, and in my opinion, what I see happen is over money. You've seen Errol Spence and Derek James, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a money thing. Possibly somebody wants more money or wanted more money to train, and he went a different direction. I don't know. Maybe there's something else. That's just pure speculation and conjecture. It is what it is. We'll see what is the next fight for Jose. I think it will be a pit bull fight, and wish them both the best. Drop your thoughts. Chris Colbert, man, oh man. So Chris Colbert got in there with a guy named Omar Super Salcido, and he did not look the same, people. I think Chris Colbert has definitely been affected by his loss to Hector Luis Garcia, a guy that Gervonta Davis easily beat. And then he was further affected when he fought Rayo. He literally lost the first fight, but they gave it to him. And then in the rematch, Rayo came back with a vengeance and knocked him out viciously. Now, I've been around boxing for some years, so I hear all the stories, and I feel like Colbert has only himself to blame, because I heard, he lacks discipline, drinking, partying, staying out late, trying to live the life. Now, many years ago, when I first started the channel, I came up with a quote, and it's amazing how this quote still serves and is true today, to this day. I said, everybody wants to be Money Mayweather without going through the Pretty Boy Floyd stages. And later I heard different people rip the quote, but it came from me on the channel. The day ones, they remember me saying that. And that's just it. People want the lavish things, the flamboyant lifestyle, the money, the women, the cars, the houses, the business ventures and real estate. But the things that it takes for you to be a Golden Glove champion or to be a world champion in boxing and make your name, a lot of the fighters, when they start getting money, they stop doing that. They don't keep their weight in check. They eat whatever. They're doing whatever, putting poison in their body, whatever the case may be. And I think it's a culmination of these things, discipline issues, plus those were some bad losses, especially the knockout loss to El Rayo. I tell you all the time, anytime somebody face plants, it's usually a nasty knockout, right? When you get knocked out in such a way, then it usually spells trouble, because, I mean, no one intentionally is going to fall on their face. That means they're knocked out cold, like Pacquiao versus Marquez. So it's a shame for Chris Colbert. At one point, a lot of people thought he showed a lot of promise, but between lifestyle decisions, it appears, and losses, he's now looking like people are calling for him to retire. He, in this fight with Omar Salcedo, he just didn't look good. As the fight wore on, you had this like Maidana-ish rugged guy from Mexico, trained by Jose Benavidez Sr, and he was coming forward, putting his punches together. You seen a really flat and almost a bewildered Colbert, like he didn't know what to do. He had no, answer. And then when the onslaught began to turn up a notch, I feel like Colbert, he just froze almost. Like he wasn't throwing back. His defense didn't look crispy, and he was like losing the rounds, and I think it got progressively worse. Then before one of the later rounds, Omar had a good round, and then Colbert's corner said something to the effect, if you give me another round like that, I'm going to stop the fight. So they warned him, and then he started getting hit with big punches, I think an uppercut. His corner threw in the towel. They got the ref's attention, said it's over, fight's over. They didn't like what they seen from the fight. Boom. Omar Super Salcedo. He just made a great spot for himself. And now here's the thing for Colbert. Some people are like, oh, he need to go to 126, 130. If you have discipline issues and then you've eaten yourself out of divisions, that's going to be hard to do. Furthermore, you got to make choices in boxing that behoove you and benefit you before it gets to this point. Like, you can't just keep taking bad losses, knockout losses, upset losses, and then you want to start figuring stuff out and, oh, I need a new trainer. Oh, I'm going to start eating better. Oh, I'm going to drop back down in weight. Like, the time to do that is to be proactive instead of reactive. And before it gets to that level, that's when you should really make those changes. Just my 2 cents. This is the Roundup.